in the long term, because obviously the short term, Cowboys season's over, Jets season's over. In the long term, who is in the best position between the Cowboys and the Jets? So the way I look at it is, as long as Jerry Jones is still the GM calling the shots, nothing's getting done in Dallas.
But as long as Woody Johnson's the owner in New York as well, nothing's getting done.
So those
Jets,
cancel out.
So
the Cowboys, the only thing I can say about the Cowboys is they usually draft well. Like they drafted well. You know,
because you know
the
why?
Jets, you can't say the same.
That's mostly not Jerry Jones.
We don't draft.
That's Steven. That is his son.
No, the Jets draft pretty well. We have some.
Jets draft well on defense.
On
They
defense.
can't draft a quarterback to save their lives. That's really the thing.
I mean, Garrett,
Yeah, we got
Reese.
Garrett.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
Brees,
That's fair. Okay.
You know, and,
Recent history, sure.
Yeah.
Elijah Vera Tucker was a good one on
Sure,
offense.
sure.
Jermaine Johnson on defense.
I don't fucking
know. It's
know.
on offense.
No,
but-
I mean, I don't know, because now you got Dak making all this money. You got CeeDee Lamb making all this money. You're gonna have Micah Parsons who's not coming back.
So here's the thing. So here's the odd scenario here. Like, the question was, who's in a better long-term position? I mean, I feel like I have to say it's the Cowboys, just inherently because you have Dak and you have CD, and they're locked up long-term. So I just feel like you have to. Because Aaron Rodgers, one more year on his contract. After that, what do you got? Jordan Travis. And look, I love Jordan Travis, loved him in college, but I don't know what he is as a prospect in the NFL, so I have no idea. But I have to say Dallas, because you have those two guys locked up long term, so I feel like you kind of have no choice. Here's the other situation. The guy that you just mentioned, Micah Parsons, he's not going to be in Dallas. I'm going to guarantee that. He's going to get traded. Whether that's this offseason, next year, I don't know when it's going to happen. You're not paying three guys a total of like $120 million. It's not going to happen. So, unfortunately, what is the price for Micah Parsons? I don't really know, because we've never really seen a guy like Micah Parsons.
He's going to be the highest paid defensive player of all time.
100%.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. The problem is, you're going to trade a franchise cornerstone on the other side of the ball. You have no choice. But oddly enough, I feel like that puts you in a better position still than it does for the Jets, because who the hell are the Jets going to trade to put them in that type of position?
Right.
You trade Micah, at least you're going to get 2 first-round picks at minimum. That's where the starting point is.
Yeah.
So you're not going to pay him, but you're at least going to get legitimate substance out of him. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of have to go with the Cowboys, but Cowboys ain't going to be great until a certain guy leaves the face of the earth.
Right.
Just saying.
My vote here would actually be for who's in the worst position is the question.
No. Who's in the better position?
I think the Jets are in a better position. So my reason being is everyone's pretty much off the books this year. If they have a bunch of guys who are going into free agency this year. And listen, Jordan Travis probably isn't the answer at quarterback. I was saying this to everyone as I was texting about my big trade for Garrett Wilson today. I'd be shocked if the Jets don't draft a quarterback this year.
Or at least get a bridge guy.
Yes, there will be Jordan. If Aaron Rodgers retires going into next year, Jordan Travis will not be the starting quarterback going into next year.
Agreed.
I'm pretty confident on that. My point being is like with Garrett Wilson, it's like, yeah, shit looks gloomy after Aaron Rodgers right now. They draft a quarterback this year, you're looking at that entirely differently. Whether we like the quarterback they draft or not, it'll be a first round or second round quarterback. You look at it a little bit differently than Jordan Travis as the future. And I just think there's more of a clear path for them to rebuild. The Cowboys just signed Dak Prescott to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL history. They just signed CeeDee Lamb to a massive fat bag. We know Jerry Jones is not going to tear this shit down. As long as Jerry Jones is calling the shots, there's no rebuild in Dallas. They're just going to keep putting out these teams that maybe give you a glimmer of hope, but they're not going to win shit. Let's be real. It's the Dallas Cowboys. And I know the Jets are the Jets, but to me, at least with the Jets, there's a clear path of a rebuild, where with the Cowboys, I just don't see that. So I think the Jets want, next year and maybe the year, if Aaron Rodgers retires going into next year, sure, next year the Cowboys will be better than the Jets. Maybe the following year the Cowboys will be better than the Jets. But I think the Jets, there's more of a clear path to building something for the future that's sustainable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I get that, but I also, before, when you walked away, our first statement was we rule out the top of the ownership group because Woody Johnson sucks, and for as long as he's there, they're going to be horrible, and for as long as Jerry Jones is there, they're going to be horrible or not be able to do something. So, like, I looked at it as, like, they have never gotten that position right. Never. Like, never, ever.
Yeah.
What is changing my mind to make me think that they will get that position right? That's the toughest position to get right in all of football. I'm looking at it like, at least the Cowboys have one.
It's just, but they were getting it right until Aaron Rodgers came and ruined the day. You know what I mean?
Were they getting that position right, though?
I think
Zach wasn't it.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
No, they weren't getting quarterback right. But what I mean was they were building
They were building something.
team from the ground up, which, like, the Cowboys obviously have done that. But I don't know. It's
They're both
like they're both terrible.
trash.
But Jerry Jones is just like horrible. Like,
So is Woody.
I know, but like Jerry.
So is Woody Johnson.
To me, Jerry Jones is just a different level of terrible. He's in a tier of his own. He's in a tier.
I mean, especially with his comments recently.
Yeah.
Why is he doing it? No other owner in the NFL is surrounded
Yeah.
by press.
Yeah, that's
after
what
a
I, that's
game.
what I mean. Like, oh, there's a kitty. Really? Kitty. Like, sure, Woody Johnson is a dog shit owner, but Joe Douglas, I think, has done a pretty solid job as the GM. Maybe
I don't
not.
know if he lasts.
Maybe not. Right, sure, but he's done a solid enough job. Jerry Jones is not only the owner; he's basically the GM too, which is just like he's at first sucky as an owner as he is. He's a horrible GM too, which is just like
his son does a lot of the
and he sucks.
draft. No, they draft really
well.
well.
They draft well.
They draft incredibly well.
They draft well, but you know I don't know, man. I don't know. Like again, like I said, I see a path for the Jets to at least like rebuild and retool. And sure, the Cowboys could get a fat haul for Micah, but
then you gotta get Micah again, basically.
Right.
You gotta
It's
get
just
enough
like you
Micah.
have a great. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you get draft picks to get that guy.
Like
But,
like the Jets. Rodgers retires at the end of the year. Let's say they still have such great foundational pieces on defense. You have a wide receiver one in Garrett. You have a running back, and I know running back lifespan.
Do you not re-sign him? If you're in a rebuilding stage, is Brees are you re-signing Brees? Like,
it depends. It depends on how fast they think they could turn things around. You know what I mean? If they feel like they could turn things around, you keep Brees around. If you don't, you let him walk. But I just think the Jets are in a better spot to flip things around after Aaron Rodgers. The Cowboys, for as long as they're stuck with Jerry Jones, and I don't want to make this a Dak hate thing, but for as long as they're stuck with that Dak contract, it's just like, how can you turn this thing around? You know what I mean?
Jerry has never said a good thing about Dak Prescott. It's unreal.
Yeah, I don't know. Like both these teams for our entire lives have been pretty terrible organizationally. So
well, the Cowboys have always been successful. It's just never successful to
not what they
the
wanted to be
extent.
successful.
Yeah.
You
make
just
the playoffs, never win a playoff game.
And I just mean like organizationally, like Jerry Jones is terrible. You know what I mean?
They'll literally.
It doesn't matter if they're a playoff team. Jerry Jones
are a
sucks.
Jerry Jones away from, or actually rather, they are Jerry Jones being away from being a good team. That's literally what it is. It's so sad, but that's what it is. So yeah.
There's also a world where, like, talk about college and the draft for a little bit. You know, I don't know if I've said this to you guys, but I've said it again. Like I said, I made a huge dynasty trade for Garrett Wilson. I'm pretty much locked into getting Ashton Genty with the 101. I've said for a few weeks now, I'm at a point where I really don't see a world where Genty's not a Cowboy. I just think it makes too much sense. I think they'll be in a position.
You're so right.
And it's just like, that's fucking Ezekiel Elliott all over again. Like,
because they're going to have a high pick.
Right. And like, even if they're not in the spot to draft him, I think he's from there. That, like, as much as positional value and shit devalues running backs, like I could really sit here and say that's probably their biggest need right now is the running back position. I know positional value will say no, but if you really look at this team, and I know it's been a shit show for them this year in particular, especially given the injuries to the defense. But like, if you really look at them on paper, they might be a generational level running back away from being a pretty damn good team. If Micah didn't miss time,
so much,
DeMarcus Lawrence didn't miss time, Deron Bland's been out for basically the entire
There's injuries
year,
on the
you know
defensive side of the ball, but they are
they're not a
baby shit.
they're not a great defense by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, it's also Big Mike's out of there.
But I really do think like you could sit here again, even with positional value in play here and the devaluing of running backs. I think you could make the argument that their biggest need right now is running back, and that guy's from there. They've shown us in the past with drafting Zeke, like if a guy is that guy, they don't mind drafting a guy that high. Like to me, that shit just even if they're a few picks off, if there's a team in front of them that might draft him, I genuinely believe they will trade up to make that man a Cowboy. Like I almost think it's a lot that man will be a Cowboy.
They're gonna end up with a top 5 pick at this point. They really
maybe not top 5. There's a lot of bad teams in the NFL.
There are a lot
right
of
now.
2-win
But also
teams,
Dak's
they're
out
top
for the
8.
year.
They're top 8 guaranteed.
Yeah,
and
they're
Cooper Rush
they're
is their
top
starting
10 pick.
quarterback.
That's what I mean. They're going to be in position to draft him. And again, like I said, even if they feel like there's a team in front of them that might draft him, like I don't think they will have a problem trading up a pick or two if they have to draft that guy. I don't know if that's the right move, but again, I think he's that fucking good of a prospect that he might. And I'm not saying make them a Super Bowl contender, but he can fix a lot of their offensive like having a good running back. Again, Dak's out for the year, which sucks, but like having a good running back could have fixed a lot of this team's offensive struggles.
could have masked a lot of their struggles overall.
Yeah. And like Genty's that good of a player. And again, I at this point in time, I think it's almost a lock that he will be a Cowboy. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Like, and again, if he comes in and has a Zeke type rookie year, like we might be looking at the Cowboys differently going into next year. Who knows? So he's that good though. So
They got a lot more problems than just running back.
100%, 100%. But that's one that the production they've got out of that position over the past 2 years is one of their bigger problems.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
for sure. And
So you say the Jets have a better long-term outlook than the Cowboys?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Both make good points. I don't know. The Cowboys have just had a history of being a good team, and the Jets have had a history of being a dog shit team.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah, history shows that it's the Cowboys, but I think, like you said, as long as Jerry's there, he's just gonna lock them into being that not great but not bad team either. And I think as much as listen,
Hey,
all
man,
these
only a few more years.
maybe.
Only a few more years.
As long
Only a
as
few more.
these billionaire owners all have huge egos that they refuse to put aside, but I think Jerry Jones has the biggest ego and he will never put it aside. I think Woody, if he likes
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Sure. If he likes Joe Douglas or whatever GM he puts in there, I think he'll let that guy do his job more than Jerry will.
I mean, did you hear what Jerry says about his players?
Yeah.
Really? He said that?
Yeah.
What do you mean? How the fuck does that even get brought up?
Well,
professionally?
Another time.
All right.
reasons.
After,
I guess.
all right.
No, Jerry says all sorts of crazy things about his.
Imagine
players.
saying,
you
like-
see what Micah said?
Imagine
I said
saying,
it
yeah.
before, but what Micah said about Mike
did he
McCarthy.
basically say his team's combined inches is
Okay.
He's
More
basically
than every
he
other
has
team.
essentially talked about his players' sizes.
his players'
Sizes.
value? Yeah,
Trying
yeah.
to get
Yeah.
this to not happen.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
They have he has the tallest team and
Yes.
sure. Yeah,
Potentially.
a lot of
potentially.
height.
the tallest combined.
That they just
roster
have a few extra inches in terms of
height
height
than
Yeah.
any other team.
and length. Yeah.
Good for him.
So you're on the
I'm
Cowboy
glad that's
side.
winning him games.
He looks for length. He looks for length.
He looks. Yeah. Who is this prospect that they're drafting? Is he tall?
Ashton Genty.
Brian Newman just
He's
texted
only
me happy
5'9", but
birthday,
he's
bro.
got length. You know.
My last text with him or from June 2nd. We were balling, I guess. I asked him to go play ball at the park before the sun goes down. Trunks pulling up, and he said, "This was funny. I remember when this happened, but He said, "My bad, bro. My dumbass ate a nut and I'm in the hospital. I'm doing way better. Just didn't want to text you back at the time. I'll be fit sometime this week, though."
I remember that too.
Oh my God. He just texted you?
Yeah, he said, "Happy birthday." That's
Aw.
a real one.
Oh, Brian Newman, man. Miss Brian Newman. Anyways, where were you going?
I'm
before?
going. I'm going with the Jets because my point was I think Woody Johnson is more likely to pull in the reins a little bit and let his management do their
And
do their
fuck
job.
the Cowboys.
And fuck the Cowboys. Yeah, I kind of want to see them be.
I
miserable.
think the Jets are a little more compromisable than the Cowboys, and I think that's going to give them a better success in the long term.
Compromisable?
Yeah, like
In what way?
Just
They don't
compromise.
talk about.
No, all right. No. I feel
they
I feel like
prioritize football. Damn it.
yeah, the Jets prioritize football. No, I feel like the Jets head office is more like willing to, take risk, man. Honestly, I mean, like the risk they've been taking kind of hasn't been successful, but they've been taking them. You know what I mean? And like the Cowboys kind of haven't really been taking any risk. They're just overpaying their players and have a fucking CEO that's ruining their reputation. You know what I mean?
I think that's a good point. Like when the Aaron
yeah.
Rodgers move happened, like we all agreed you got to do that every time. You know, so
100%.
like when the Cowboys make a move,
Did you agree that the Jets always should have done the Rodgers?
like at the time,
Move.
at the time, yeah.
right?
I feel like that
yeah.
was universally
And-
thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
but every time the
The
Cowboys
other
make
option
it,
was Derek Carr.
Right.
Like, come on.
every time
Come on, man.
every time the Cowboys make a
Come on,
splash
man.
move, it's like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Like, so the Jets at least like not successfully, but picked a direction and stuck with it.
I mean, hey, the Cowboys took a risk this year. They went out and traded a 4th-round pick for
some guy.
Jonathan Mingo.
Yeah, there he is.
There it is. There's the name.
Keep your 4th round pick. Fuck, what am I doing
There's
with
the
that?
name. I mean, there's
also
probably,
they also traded a fourth-
listen, there's probably reasons why Jerry wanted him. So,
Jesus, just not gonna let that go, huh?
come on.
They also traded a 4th-round pick for Trey Lance, and he's not playing.
There's probably reasons why Jerry wanted him too.
Let's talk about Jalen Tolbert. No, kidding.
Hey, Jalen Tolbert has been cool this year.
No, he has been pretty chill. Yeah.
He's been cool this
Yeah.
year.
I have a genuine question.
Go ahead.
I know this is a little off topic, but I think it's okay to go off topic a little bit.
Clearly,
What, what number in the draft do you think Genty's actually going to go? I mean, I understand that.
Wherever the Cowboys pick.
You think so?
I genuinely believe if it's not where the Cowboys pick, then it will be before.
I mean, Bijan was 8.
Like he won't.
Oh, but you don't
Gibbs
think
was
Genty's
like-
in the
I
top
don't
five?
think, if I'm going to be
I
honest
think
with you,
he's wherever the Cowboys are. I don't think he's running back going at top 5 is just those teams have so much like bigger needs.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like the Falcons taking Bijan at 8, like that. It made sense for them there, So like
I mean, Saquon went at what, 6?
2.
2, brother.
Okay. I'm thinking-
That was
Ahead of Josh Allen,
a long time ago.
Quentin Nelson.
But like that was the thing. Like he's like obviously like Penn State isn't New York, but like he's from this air. Like the storyline made sense. You know what I mean? For the Giants to take Saquon, the storyline just lines up for the Cowboys to take Genty. So
Speaking of the Giants.
If I'm gonna be honest with you, yeah. If I'm gonna be honest with you, if he doesn't go to the Cowboys with their pick, I don't expect him getting drafted in the top 15. If I'm being entirely honest,
What if he wins the Heisman, though?
Doesn't matter.
I think he'll be a top 15 pick.
I think running back is making a.
we saw Jameer Gibbs get drafted, and I know it's the Lions, but like we saw Jameer Gibbs get drafted with the 12th overall pick. This guy's having the best college football running back season.
Yeah,
of the
I think
past
he'll be top 15.
how many years? He'll be a top 15.
maybe the
pick.
Chargers do it.